Exploring the internet looking for fresh new horror game ideas has been a hassle. A good chunk of horror these days is either a remake of a fantastic game or just more mascot horror slop. Being a horror fan might be one of the most double-edged swords in all of gaming. We somehow get both of the best and the worst games in existence. On one hand, Silent Hill 2 and RE2 are masterpieces. On the other hand, Garden of Banban is a game. Lucky for both you and me, I recently started noticing a new type of horror game spreading throughout the internet that sparked my interest. They're called Anomaly Hunting horror games. I personally went with Spot the Difference horror, but the other one is much better. There's very few of these types of games, but they're quite the innovative concept for both scares and fun. And the few that have been developed, almost all of them I find to be interesting in their own right. They all offer something unique to the table, and that alone is great. I want to discuss the exact bells and whistles of this untapped horror subgenre, along with providing examples to back my claims. This video has been on the back burner for months now, so I'm pretty relieved to finally share my thoughts on it. Now before we get into it, thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel recently. It's been doing well all thanks to y'all, so I really appreciate it. If you are not a regular like the ones previously stated, I hope you consider subscribing. The channel has had massive success as of late, and I'd love to have even more people to join the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's discuss Anomaly Hunting horror. Now that I gave you a brief intro on the genre at the beginning of the video, now it's time to provide a definition to what exactly the genre is. Here's my personal description of what an Anomaly Hunting horror game is. Anomaly Hunting horror is a type of game where you are placed in a detailed environment and are tasked with spotting the differences in the area to progress, or hunting anomalies. To provide a better picture, let's say that I'm placed in a room with 3 paintings, a sofa, and a Coca-Cola on the floor. If I walk into a copy of that exact same room with 2 paintings instead of 3, then that means there's an anomaly in the room. But if there's 3 paintings in the room, there's no anomaly. Make sense? The whole genre is focused around a person's ability to recall details of an environment they've only had a brief experience with. This can lead to some very well designed environments and creative types of anomalies. To help you understand what games like this look like, let's take a look at the first example I have lined up, titled Exit 8. In this game, you are placed in a subway station. You must survey your environment to see what the room is supposed to look like. Then you start the game. If the room you're in looks the same as you remember with seemingly no difference, then you move forward into the next room. However, if the room looks different, and you find an anomaly, then you must move backwards to progress into the next room. If you mess up on either front, you'll start back at the very beginning. The game has a total of 8 levels, with each level having a randomized anomaly. It seems like an easy concept at first, but as time goes on, your memory will begin to play tricks on you from either paranoia of losing, or just plain doubt in your ability to recall. That's why I love this game and others like it. It goes beyond just being good at a game. It's a battle with how good your judgment is. Exit 8 hits this idea on the bullseye, and the devs made some pretty clever anomalies. One of my favorites is the anomaly with the man. In the subway hallway, there's a man that'll walk from one side of the room to the other, staring straight and completely ignoring you. One anomaly that can happen is the man will be given eyes that track the player, and he'll look directly at you the whole time as he's walking.
Don't, oh man, that's, you son of a bitch. You think that I can make you anomalous just by throwing you off track, huh? Yeah? Oh yeah? Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up? What's going on? Huh? What's with you? Huh? You got a problem? You got a problem with me? Huh? You think that just, sorry, do you need to take that?
This one is admittedly both creepy upon experience, but also rather clever. Since Exit 8's hallway environment is a little big, it gives room for more detail. Details you wouldn't even think need to be checked could potentially be an anomaly. Along with the previously mentioned awareness of difference, Exit 8 adds even more to the player's plate with the amount of small details in need of check. From the signs on the ceiling to the smallest detail like a doorknob being changed, the anomalies can easily catch a player off guard. These anomalies are especially effective when the player is rushing through the levels. After a while of playing, the player will most likely begin to go through the levels faster to speed up the process. In turn, they will miss some changed details, even some being obvious, and start back at square one because of it. Do you see why I love this genre so much? There's so many factors of anomaly hunting horror games that link directly to human behavior, and I think they lean into this factor more in their design. As I've stated before, Exit 8 is a great example of this. Out of the 2 examples I've lined up, I think this game might be my favorite for a variety of reasons. It's somehow simplistic yet complex in its layout and gameplay. Simplistic in the sense of your objective and how to achieve it, but complex in a sense of paying attention to your surroundings and mentally battling your recollection of the environment. I highly recommend anyone watching this to check out the game. Now that I've covered the standard layout of these types of games with Exit 8, I want to show off how much further the genre can be taken with my next example. The next game I have lined up for today is titled Stairway 7. Despite the title sounding extremely similar, this is not from the same dev who made Exit 8. While Exit 8 was made by KOTAKE, Stairway 7 was developed by SteelKrill Studios. This game takes the genre to a completely new level. With this game, the core concept is the same, but with a few twists. Instead of a large subway hallway, our environment is a small stairwell which has the same looking floors in between stairs. As usual, if the room is exactly the same, then you may go up to the stairs scot-free. If you see an anomaly, however, you must go down the stairs to the previous floor, listen for a sound indicating the removal of the anomaly, and go back up the stairs to that level. A little different, but on paper it's the same structure. Now let's get into the big changes in this game. Instead of a measly 8 levels, we have upgraded to 70 floors. That may seem like way too much, but it actually works pretty well here. Another big change is that we now have a health system. Here's how it works. You start off with 100 health. Every time that you mess up and go up the stairs while there's an anomaly, you will be suddenly jump scared by a fleshy monster and they will take 40 of your health. Furthermore, there are actually some anomalies in the game that can deal damage to you as well, along with scaring you. Luckily, there's also a way to regain some of your health. As you're going through the floors, every so often you can find a health drink that will restore 40 health back to you. And if you don't want or need to drink it when you find it, you have an inventory that you can store it in for safekeeping. This ensures that you can save it for later down the line and maintain your health. I think the decision to have a health system in place instead of restarting fits much better for Stairway 7, especially with how many levels there are. Along with that, the jump scare system has the plus of adding a lot of tension as you're walking up to the next floor. After you mess up once and get jump scared, you begin to anticipate it, and the fear of anticipation is a huge bonus to the scare factor of this game compared to Exit 8. Just the thought that you could be unsuspectingly spooked as you're walking to the next level is great for the horror side of things. It adds a further layer to the game, and I really enjoy this change. Speaking of the scare factor and all, I want to end this game off by talking about the atmosphere and environment of Stairway 7. I mentioned this before, but the size of Stairway 7's environment is significantly smaller compared to Exit 8's. It makes up for this change in size by making the floors far scarier. The small floors now only have a single source of light provided by a small, dim light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The minimally lit environment gives an eerie impression. The props chosen for the floors are also a little scarier. For example, one of the props in the environment is a tall, worn, and broken down mannequin with its body smeared and scratched up. While the mannequin trope has admittedly been overused in horror several times, I believe this game does a good job at it and it fits the game well. One anomaly that can happen causes the mannequin to slowly turn its head towards you while letting out a spine-chilling noise adjacent to an animal wheezing. Events like this, when paired with the environment, take the horror to the next level. Other sudden yet scary anomalies can happen as well, such as one of the furniture pieces in the room suddenly sliding in front of you.
15. No. Oh, I can actually sprint. That.
When you have these sudden anomalies occur after the anticipation of a jump scare, it equals having really effective horror elements. While I enjoy Exit 8 more as a game, Stairway 7 has the objectively superior horror and is an amazing experience. Anomaly hunting horror is overall a very underrated subgenre, and I wish that more developers would pursue it. With the 2 examples I provided today, it's been proven how innovative they can be. Each entry in the genre has expanded upon the previous in new, interesting ways. Exit 8 laid the base foundation, and Stairway 7 added its own twist on it. These games have been gathering more steam on the internet, and I'm glad that they are. In fact, a new game made by the same people who made Exit 8, titled Platform 8, released at the end of last month. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, so I couldn't talk about it here, but I do recommend that you check it out, along with the other games mentioned in this video. There were some games that I didn't mention that could be considered anomaly hunting horror, such as Observation Duty, but it felt out of place with the other two I mentioned in this video, so I decided to leave it out. Now onto another note, thank you to everyone who watched this far. I truly appreciate anyone who watches my content, so thank you. This video was shorter than usual, mainly because of big channel plans for next month, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please consider checking out my other content. Lastly, I would love to see y'all's opinions on the games I talked about, so be sure to comment your thoughts on Exit 8 and Stairway 7 below. Well, that's all from me. Until next time, cheers!